Similarities between a wing on an aeroplane and the wing on the America's Cup yacht is they're trying to make lift, force, a large amount of force, which either lifts the plane up in the air or pushes the boat forward. There's challenges for each one that are a little bit different, but the primary goal, make a lot of force to get the boat going fast or the plane in the air, is exactly the same. On the Oracle Team USA boat, the wing is controlled by the wing trimmer. He's the guy who actually holds the rope that rotates the wing, and as you pull that rope on, the wing develops more and more force. Pull it on too much and the boat will tip over. Let it go and the boat goes flat and stops moving. The winglet on the end of an Airbus wing creates better efficiency for the wing so that it actually appears like a longer wing, which is desirable when you're trying to lift heavy loads with a wing. The winglet on the dagger boards underneath our boat has a completely different function. That's actually to produce vertical lift, to lift the boat up out of the water. There's a lot of similarities between what Jimmy Spithill's doing with the boat as a pilot would do flying a plane. The vertical lift of how you actually lift the boat up out of the water is just like takeoff for an aeroplane. Similarly, when you turn the boat, you've got to bank it as well as actually change direction. It's exactly the same as flying a plane. And Jimmy, I think probably you all know, is now got his pilot's license and is training to become a more and more proficient pilot, which he claims makes him a better skipper.
Maybe one day he'll be hired by Airbus as a pilot then.
I hope so. I'd feel pretty good with him flying the plane as long as I was hanging on.
Yeah, Thurlow definitely over. Let's wait for the horns. General, oh no, individual. Nice job. So, Thurlow goes round appliances, goes round to restart. Now 7 is punching out from the favoured end of the line with appliances on line, and also Nick Daly did a good job there. So that's the leaders. Leaders are in the left and got onto port tack early. So the battle at the front for me is 7, Nick Daly in pure blonde. Yes, Bucko just pointing out, which is out of shot, is there's a whole bunch of boats have gone aggressively to the left. So, you know, obviously we're not going to know how all that pans out till we get all the boats converging at the top mark. Keegan's coming in with no right, so it depends how much room he's got. Not a great tack on the rags, but they got that sorted. So what's Keegan got to do? He's got to duck the kitchen maker, then does his tack. So if he completes a good tack here, he'll be third. 7 coming in overlaid very fast. So for these guys downwind, okay.
Bookie's made this boat favourite today. After their great speed display last Sunday, they ended up on the podium after a couple of swims.
Well, where they were at the start, they were quite buried, Kilo. So yeah, they've come back very quickly to just be nipping on their heels of this front pack. So that was amazing. It only took one big gust, and it got Kitchenmaker that looked to be, you know, slightly in trouble, to be able to close gauge and regroup with this leading bunch.
Well, all those boats, other than Smeg, is probably right on the target to clear the headland into chowder. So it's going to be interesting. There'll be spinnakers getting peeled, you would think, if this pressure is coming through pretty solid now. David Witt's just rolled the 7. He's got his hand on his head, so he's going for everything. Great race. Now, the next part is the Asco Rock down here, was it? You remember that one?
I do.
And they're all on lay for it.
Yeah. I don't know where that gap is, but there's certainly a rock.
They're heading straight at it, so they need to be a little bit...
Okay, here we go. Who's going to... Look at this. Whitty starting to roll the Rags. Rags just hanging in there. Still got enough forward apparent to go now. Rags yelling to Appliances to stay up now.
Nice job, and they're clear of the rock at this point.
Okay, so the kitchen maker actually went a little bit too far. 7 rolls inside. Can't see whether they're overlapped or not. Oh, a bit of yelling going on.
You'll give him a bit of room.
Okay,
now
no.
Forward.
Oh, that was marginal. Okay, so first around, Appliances followed by 7. Then it'll be Rag. Then I think it'll be Kitchen Maker or Smeg. So clearly first and second are Appliances and 7. Whitty just stepping back in. Nice way to go. So Appliances made a nice little gain up that beat. On lay. Got the spectator ferry, got the throttle down. Now this could be a bit of a floating chicane kilo.
It could be. He's going to have to go over it. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
he's going to be patient and go over it. And the point is, will this play into 7's hands? Will this help 7?
Well, what he should do is put his bow down a bit further and slow up a bit. Just let him get over the top.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, exactly.
Big issue with the ferry. The ferry's
Yeah,
going
Major,
down.
this is...
Ferry's sailing a pretty tight course to this next mark.
Yeah. So we've still got Appliances leading. Gotta love it, 7 in second.
I like the spectator ferry on that run. That was really well played.
I think it's fantastic. It's like in F1, they should have sprinklers on the track, you know, just to liven things up. Just have a bloke with a button going, okay, we're going to go lively for a while.
Yeah.
Chop things up a bit.
Bucket of oil.
That's it. A bit of oil.
No, they sailed well. Gotta love it. That
Absolutely.
went to the casino over in the right on the second beat up here after the start, that is, and opened up that lead. And even though David pulled it back under Spinnaker, just nice little bits of smarts on that boat today. Just did a good job. Well played.
Absolutely.
So they're going to cross without tacking, more value. So, Big Red 7 takes the second heat. The state titles and the club championship on the 8th of November.
Avant d'aimer les bateaux, j'aime la mer. Parce qu'avant tout, pour moi, ce trophée Jules Verne, c'est une aventure. C'est pas que aller faire le tour du monde en moins de 45 jours.
Un bon état d'esprit pour réussir, c'est la volonté, l'envie, la passion et aussi le plaisir de faire ce que l'on fait.
J'imagine pas être performant sur un bateau où il y a peu d'affinités entre l'équipe. Et je crois que cette alchimie, aujourd'hui, je le vois à l'entraînement, je le vois sur les courses qu'on a fait, elle prend vraiment.
C'est d'être une équipe, c'est de pouvoir s'appuyer sur les uns et les autres, de pouvoir s'entraider, de pouvoir se comprendre.
Des gens dont je connais le talent, je connais maintenant l'expérience, des gens qui sont bien en mer, sur qui je peux compter, avoir confiance. Et je crois que c'était ça l'essentiel. Je crois qu'il y a une vraie envie pour toute l'équipe de partir, de naviguer ensemble et de faire cette aventure ensemble. C'est un peu une course différente des autres. Voilà, il y a à la fois une part de sportif, mais il y a sûrement une part d'aventure et de rêve un peu plus importante.
Moi, j'ai toujours dit à tous les gens qui m'ont posé des questions que ce bateau, Spindrift 2, il est vraiment fait pour aller dans le Grand Sud. On rencontre là-bas des vagues qu'on rencontre nulle part ailleurs.
Parce que c'est mythique, quoi. C'est ce qu'il y a de plus dur dans notre métier, donc c'est un peu notre Everest. On se retrouve un peu de la vie de terrien balancé là et on se dit oulala, si c'est parti comme ça pour 45 jours, ça va être dur.
Faire le tour du monde et en plus en multicoque, c'est un rêve qui se réalise enfin et j'ai hâte d'y être.
Plutôt agréable d'être sur un bateau qui a été déjà éprouvé et qui est ça.
On serre les dents, on s'accroche, on se soutient mutuellement. Tant qu'on n'y est pas, je pense qu'on ne se rend pas compte de ce que c'est.
C'est une machine qui est au large impressionnante. J'ai hâte de voir ce que ça va donner dans la houle, dans le vent, dans le sud.
Moi, j'ai jamais passé 45 jours d'affilée en mer. C'est une grande chance qu'on a de faire ce qu'on va faire.
On va faire l'ensemble de l'océan Indien et le Pacifique Sud. On va être amené à devoir se rapprocher des glaces.
C'est aussi agréable de passer les nuits à la belle étoile en passant l'équateur que d'être au froid, sous la neige, avec le verglas sur le pont.
On arrive quand même à avoir des phases vraiment grisantes où tu as des bords qui durent quelques heures, qui sont hallucinants. Tous les gens qui naviguent voudraient faire ça.
Sur notre bateau, on se sent vraiment bien, on se sent en équilibre. Et les heures, les jours, ça passe comme des secondes, quoi. On a toujours envie que ça continue.
All right, you guys, that is the final day of the 2015 Aloha Classic, sponsored by Nove Nove. All right, with the women's pro double, we started off right away with the top four in a huge battle between Sarah Hauser and Fiona Wilde, with Fiona Wilde knocking Hauser off the podium for still a very solid fourth place finish for Sarah. And Fiona Wilde was not done as she stomped her way through Ingrid LaRouche. Fiona then met Ibaya Ruana Moreno in the final in a very close heat that's going to be talked about for some time, that came right down to the wire. It just wasn't quite enough for Fiona Wilde as Ibaya Ruana Moreno wins back-to-back Aloha Classics. Okay, the pro men's double, we saw a lot of rotational maneuvers. Levi Siver continuing his tear with multiple 360s and almost came away with the battle for Kauli Siati. But it wasn't to be. In the sudden death final, it all came down to Morgan Noirot and a lot of very well-chosen waves. He had his mind on the fact that all he has to do is play his game. Kauli kept swinging for the fences, going for rotational moves, not quite connecting all the dots, while Morgan had these monster stomps, one particular way with these vertical hits. Must have impressed the judges, because when it came down to it, right at the end of the heat, Morgan Noirot emerged as our first back-to-back Aloha Classic champion in history. After we crowned Morgan champion, we went out for the Champions for Charity heat. This was a casually competitive affair with a lot of big names in the sports, like Robbie Nash, Marsilio Brown, Brian Talma, Josh Stone, even Morgan Noirot got out there. Campello threw $100 into the hat. It was a heat for charity. You pick your charity, and then the winner is going to be broadcasted online Tuesday night, and the charity of the winner's choice will be getting a nice pile of cash. And that's what it's all about, giving back to the community a little bit. 2015, Highcatcher Dorian signing off here. Thank you once again for joining us for the Aloha Classic, sponsored by Nove Nove, and we will see you next year. Aloha.
por vocês. É isso aí, minha gente. Sejam bem-vindos à Vila PWA Itajaí Back Popular.